It's now. It's now. It's now. Now. And we should be live in now. Hey, everybody. I know we have so much information that we're giving to you. I mean, first Kalina, then Julie, really dropped knowledge and inspired us. And then Kirsty just gave us a ton of info. We are all going to be marketing the crap out of our businesses going forward and doing it properly. And now Annie is going to get us right back into that zone of health and wellness. And now Annie and I have had many conversations. She knows what I like to do, and she knows what I dislike to do, running. Everything jiggles when you run. It's not my thing. But Annie is going to really get us, especially in the time period that we're in now, this whole Rona that's going on. We need to find ways to have that balance. You know, do you work out every day? Julie has that 100 strong and sexy. That's a great way to have, some kind of accountability to help you get some workout in. It doesn't have to be every day if it's not your thing. For me, I need it to be a habit, so I try to do it every morning. I already did my workout this morning. That's right. But I am going to step back and I am going to hand over the stage to Annie because she is going to give you lots of information that's going to help us as entrepreneurs to keep our stability going when it comes to health and well-being. Annie.
Thank you, Dwayna. It's so great. And I'm so inspired by you because you've already had a workout today. So I'm really thrilled. I am going to share my screen here. Let's do it. Okay. And it's not working. Why is that? Okay, Dwayna, I am trying to share here and it is.
I'm jumping back in. Oh, there, it's working.
It is working?
Yes, so there, we can see your screen now.
Okay.
Can you see both? I think, yeah, there. Can you not see it? Oh, wait, something happened. Can you see it?
I can see both, but it's superimposed. It's very strange.
Go back to your last screen, click on the actual presentation.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, and then, so that means you can't see your chat screen.
That's right.
That is weird. Guys, let's leave our, when you're doing your presentation, you can toggle if you'd like. At least you'll be able to see the chat if you ask a question. But if you want us to see the actual presentation, just leave it on this screen.
Yes, and I won't be able to see the chat right now, but I will get going because I know we are very sensitive about the time. Okay, bye everyone. Okay, thank you, and sorry about that. But I will also have all the contact information in here, so not to worry, everybody. I will be able to answer any questions you may have as well, and I will be monitoring the chat after. So thank you so much for having me. And it was really, I was really thrilled to be able to be here from the beginning of the afternoon because there is so much that dovetails beautifully with Julie's presentation in terms of the themes and energy. Because at the end of the day, what today is really going to be about is about supporting you to raise your energy, to have more energy so that you get to have more of what you want, right? The key to your greatest health is around energy and having your peak performance. So I'm really excited about her theme and how I can really build on it and give you the tools today to move forward. So I was very inspired by her when I created my presentation, but I was also curious about all of these powerhouse women that are out there and what they are accomplishing. Now, I've just put a bit of a collage. Of course, we could have thousands here, but this was a collage of some of women that are successful entrepreneurs, but also have incredible full lives, right? They're not just as, I was amazed by hearing Julie talk about how, she has all these multiple businesses. It's not the only thing that she has, but that ability to raise your energy so that you can have fulfilling personal life, so that you can be creative, so that you can have this extremely rich life. We think there's something special about these people. And of course, they are special, but they're not unique. They're literally following a formula. And today I'm going to give you that formula so that you can do the same that they are doing, so that you get that success, not just for 24 hours or having a great week, for now, for later, and forever. Consistent, amazing energy. So there was a poll question, and Joanna was kind enough to send me some of your results. How much energy do you feel that you have today? And it was really interesting because it was, what did we hear? Like 50% were under, I think, 6 out of 10. Think about what would it take for you to perform your Julie, to be like Julie. If you had that energy, think about it. How would your business, how would your life benefit, right? What would happen more? And I'd love for you to take 30 seconds here to think about that, and put it on a piece of paper, in a pad, and think about, what would that allow you to do? Would you be able to do more of the videos, as our previous speaker talked about? Would you be able to get more creative? Would you be able to start that project that you've been thinking about for a long time? Would you go back to school, start a family at the same time of having your business, or start a business? What would that allow you to do? I want you to write that down and be very clear, because we're going to circle back to that. So we talked about energy being source, right? So one of the things in our world, and it's physics, it's pure physics, is that everything is either positive energy or a negative charge, right? So everything, everyone, every action that is within you, around you, every decision that you make is either giving you energy or draining energy out of you. Let that sit for a second, because every single choice you are making is influencing that. It's influencing your ability to have that greatest health, that project, or that ability to get to what you want to do. So I'm going to go through what are the elements that you can actually control. There's one of the things that we did with Julie is we talked about I choose, right? Well, I am really going to be talking about the choices here, right? What can you do on a day-to-day basis and that make ultimately rise up that energy so that you are blown away by what you are able to achieve. So I have a background as a nutritionist, and of course you can't be a nutritionist without talking about food. However, I want to be very clear here that food is not a one size fits all. And the other thing that I want you to remember here is it doesn't matter what your philosophy around food is, whether you have food sensibilities or by philosophy you don't eat certain types of food. This is, in general, guidance around how you can raise your energy and how you can use food to actually drain your energy. Yes, there is such a thing. Because doesn't your life often feel like it's a bit of this roller coaster? Oh my God, I have lots of energy. It's great. It's going well. Oh my God, no, now I'm like down in the dumps, right? Is that you? Monday morning, oh my God, so blah. And then, slowly it rises up a little bit later because you're getting motivated, or you start with the best intentions at the beginning of the week. I will be good. I will not eat junk food. I will not snack. I will not have the 10 o'clock, ice cream, Haagen-Dazs. Oh, yes, right? Is that you? So this is what we are trying to avoid. Because in order to have that great energy all the time, we need to look at how we balance our hormones. And your hormones are honestly the boss. They rule. And the more you understand how they roll and how they function, the better off you will be. And one of the things that you want to really be looking at is every single meal that you have, and this is probably the number one mistake I see, is that you are not combining your food properly. So I'm not talking about, should I have an apricot with, peanut butter? I am talking about the big groups of food. I'm talking about every meal or every snack, if you're going to have a snack, making sure that you have three things balanced: good quality carbs, good quality proteins, and good quality fats. CFP, every single one of your meals. Because if you only have carbs, you are going to be doing this yo-yo thing. Your blood sugar is going to go up. You're going to have lots of energy suddenly, and then you're going to be crashing. And we've all experienced this, right? Problem is that it's exhausting to live this way. You want to be high up here all the time, then you want to make sure that you are combining carbs plus good quality protein plus fats all the time. What you want to be looking at is a variety. The more you have of the variety of vegetables, of good quality fats, and what I mean by that is, extra virgin olive oil, avocado, coconut oil, oil that is in, fats that are, of course, in nuts, excellent. Butter, ghee, especially when they are pasture raised, excellent quality of fats. You want to make sure that you have a lot of that and that you are moderating things such as, very little amount of sugar and, not surprisingly, alcohol. So you want to be really balancing your hormones by doing that rule, CFP, and you will be much better in terms of hormone regulation. If you want to have great level of energy all the time too, you want to make sure that you reduce your inflammation, right? The body's response to, things that are actually not good for it. So if you're consuming too much protein of animal source, too much refined carbohydrates, all the white stuff, right? If you have nutritional deficiencies. And here, guys, this is really important because we know in North America, for example, that 80% of people are vitamin D deficient. That has a huge effect on your level of energy, right? So making sure that you have proper nutrients through diet and supplementation also, because the reality is that it's difficult to eat that way all the time. And there are also vitamin D, for example, which is, converted from the sun. Our ability to have that on an ongoing basis here in North America is very limited. So making sure that you're careful about that. Vegetable oil consumption, but what do you need by that? It's like canola oil, sunflower, extremely inflammatory. So you want to stay away from that. They're really inflamed, and inflammaging, meaning they fast track aging. Who wants that, right? So making sure that you are careful about that. So supplementation and diet are the two key pillars. One of the things that is really important to understand is that there is this other pillar that, again, I started by talking about that energy, right? Energy, everything is, and I'm going to get you to do that maybe right now. Take a piece of paper, draw a line in the middle, and then put on the left a plus sign, and then put on the right a negative, so that you can record all of the things that you're doing that are either giving you energy or things that are, taking energy from you. Right? An object, and this is physics, an object that at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion. So where are we going with that? Physical activity, movement is the single most important factor that you can do to raise that energy, along with a good diet. So we're not talking here about, Dwayne, I love the fact that you talked about, you don't like running, everything jiggles. This is really not about that. I'm an endurance athlete, and I can assure you that activity has been the most transformative thing I've been able to do in my life. But it's not the long distance that does that. It's just a movement every day. So here you want to put on your plus side, what are the things that you do every day that you are moving, right? Whether it's walking and not using your car, it's taking your bike to go do groceries or a couple of little errands, even housework counts, gardening. We're talking about moving your body, not necessarily in, pure organized fashion, but that's also good because it raises your energy. So not only it uses energy, but it creates more energy, right? It's like your car battery. If you don't use your car for a long time, it will drain the battery. Same thing happens with you. And it's been challenging. It's been challenging right now, right? It's been so hard to stay active because we're isolated, and now it's expanded a little bit, but fall and winter is coming and some of those challenges again rise up. Julie said it best. You get to choose. You choose. Your life is your choice. Make movement a choice in your life. What depletes energy, what is on that minus side, is inactivity. Constantly staring at our monitors and sitting, right? We want to make sure that we are incorporating movement, and a little bit all the time is better for you. So think about the ways that you can do that in your life. Oh, I love this pillar. And this we're getting into the a little bit less obvious things that will give you energy, right? So think about in your life, and this is a beautiful illustration, almost, kind of pre-COVID. Aren't we all nice, enjoying ourselves, being light and carefree? I want you to think about your life as this magnificent tree. And think about how we make shrubs and plants and trees stronger in nature. What do? Right? We actually trim branches. We cut the weaker branches so that the tree gets stronger in terms of roots and that the other branches get stronger. Right? I want you to think about your life in the same way. Julie said, do you need a system update, right? A software update. This is the same. You need your change. Life is all about change. So everything, everyone, every system that you have in your life, every piece of your environment either contributes to you having energy or drains your energy. So every single human being around you that you interact with on an ongoing basis, are they lifting you up? Are they stimulating you to go in that direction of growth? Or do you feel depleted after speaking with them? Are you consuming information? Are you surrounding yourself with feeds of information that is stimulating, that is making you learn? Because nothing is neutral. So it's either lifting you up and you're learning, so you're growing, or it's bringing you joy, beautiful joy, or it's sucking up your batteries. It's draining your batteries, right? Gossip, knowing more about, Hollywood people than understanding what your friends are going through is a sign that you need to focus on, the plus and the minus. You get to choose. And every year you should do this process of pruning what is in your life. Is your environment around your home giving you energy and uplifting you? making you smile? Is it organized to support your goals? Is it organized to support you being active, for example? One of the tricks that I love to give to my clients is, if going outside for a walk is one of your goals every day, then make sure that by the door are, your shoes are there, your sunglasses, maybe a hat, and it's really easy to get out the door. Right? Are those systems in place in your environment that will support what you want to do? Because that will give you energy, or again, it will suck the energy out of you. So, what and who gives you energy and what depletes your battery? Again, pure choices. I want you to realize that you are in the driver's seat of your life. And every time that it's not the case, every time that you're in the back seat and you're letting others drive, you end up being on a negative side. I want you to be stacking on the positive side. All of these things contribute significantly to you having that amazing energy. Think about the beginning when we talked about if you had more energy, what would you do? Okay? What would there be more of? How much more successful could your life be? And successful meaning in every dimension. Oh, we have two more that are so important in these pillars. So, as I said, the last three pillars are always more intriguing and always surprise people. So, we've gone through nutrition and supplementation, and we talked about activity. We talked about the environment and your emotional health. Next one is about taking care, self-care. We had this poll question. So what percentage of people that are experiencing stress do you think are impacted mentally or physically?
Hi, I'm jumping in. I'm sorry. Annie, we can't hear you. No, we can't hear you. Maybe just click and unclick or maybe your headphones might be dead. One second, everyone. I think she's going to try to rectify this. Her headphones might have died. I will stay on until we can't hear you. One sec. Maybe click the microphone at the bottom of the screen and then unclick it and see if it will probably help. Or maybe you can log out and then log back in. Let's see if that works. Can you use the computer microphone? Like if you just take everything out, that might. We can't hear anything. I just want to make sure it's not anything I touched on my end, because I didn't touch anything. I don't recall touching anything. You all can hear me, correct? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay, so it's just Annie's connection. Maybe you have to log out and log back in and give Hopin permission to access your microphone again. That's probably it. A little technical difficulties, everyone, but it'll be smoothed over in no time. We'll be fine.
How is this?
Perfect. Okay. So you have to go back one screen because I believe this started on your previous slide.
Okay. Can you see?
All right.
Can you see this?
We can see you. We can't see your screen yet. If that's it. Like, I can't see your presentation just yet. There we go.
Okay.
We're all good. So I'm going to step off. Bye.
Bye. I'm so sorry, everybody. Thank you for your questions.
Okay.
Oh my. This is not enough script. So thank you for your patience. And I just want to remind everybody of where we were. So basically, we're talking about how the initial refuge divination is so key. And it's, in my practice, this is what I see as one of the missing components. So what will give you energy because practically is downtime. And I really mean downtime. And it's hard, right? How hard is it to turn off your phone and to not look at notifications? And I would say, think about giving yourself, a half day on, let's say, Sunday, right? To just completely disconnect.
And then embrace activities that
Sorry,
will...
Annie.
Yeah.
I'm jumping it again only because you sound muffled. So let's try the plug-in headphones, but log out and log back in and give permission to those headphones.
How is that?
Speak again. We're good?
Hello?
All right, we're good now. Are we good now? I'm just waiting for the chat for everyone to catch up to see if they can hear you. It's working with me on. Is it working? Yes. Okay. You can see how it sounds. Sorry. We can't hear you. So log off and log back in with those headphones on. It's okay. We're learning. We can't hear it from those headphones. Okay, we can hear you just like, is it clearer when I'm on, everyone? I just want to make sure if I leave my screen open,
yes.
Is it clearer for everyone? There's a delay, so I want to make sure they can answer. Is it clear for everyone? Like Annie, please speak so that they can hear.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so I guess I will have to stay on, but click on Annie's presentation screen and we will be small and Annie will not be.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Everybody, thank you for your patience. So I want you to make a list of activities that you can do that will give you energy, that will take you away from technology. One of the things that really depletes you is this constant being on sense. So really inviting you to be embracing nature, embracing activities that are, I usually look at them and say, yeah, these are like slow activities. Some people knit, some people are into music, reading, wonderful. And if you can do it outside, even better. Those are the things that will actually give you energy, to really increase your productivity. And I don't mean just work productivity here, right? If you want to increase your energy at home, being able to have an exquisite quality of life in all the dimensions of your life, you want to be practicing this. And I swear it is a practice because it is difficult, even more difficult now because we have access to this technology all the time, right? So think about a hobby. Think, when's the last time you've tried a new hobby or activity, right? It could be something crafty. It could be knitting. It could be, anything that could be of creativity. A lot of people took up eating and, a COVID time, right? And we've been making bread and developing new skills of that nature. That is what I'm talking about in terms of things that will give you energy and will, when you come back to your weekly routine, when you come back with more focus and more concentration. It's extremely powerful. Our last pillar is a really interesting one, and often people are surprised to hear this within a health and wellness presentation. But it's a very, very powerful one. This is one that the Japanese call ikigai. It's like having a purpose. And I'm not talking about Mother Teresa purpose, even though that is also very powerful. But think about your business and what you want to create. Right? Think about your life and what you want to create. This is the thing that wakes you up in the morning and gets you going. Right? Knowing where you are heading. And this does not have to necessarily mean on a professional level. Right? For a lot of people, it is about giving back. For some other people, it's about serving their communities, children, or healing. There is all kinds of different purposes, and it can evolve in your life. But this is a super powerful component. This is actually scientifically, we've measured this, that purpose was more important than other lifestyle choices that we make to keep you healthy. So I really want you to think about that as you are looking at your list of what gives you energy and what drains energy, so that you can build the life that you want. Because a lot of people have goals, and when you ask them why you're not, getting through these goals, it's not the lack of support and systems. It's the fact that they are on this roller coaster all the time of energy and being drained. When you learn to master that, and when you look at all these dimensions in your life, I know that you can optimize your energy so that it is incredible all the time, so that you can be a powerhouse, like we heard Julie before, in your own life, achieving what you want, creating the health and the wealth that you desire. So it's amazing that you can still hear me now after 10 minutes. I'm so thrilled. So in the end, just to wrap up, one of the things that we opened up just for this amazing conference is 8 complimentary sessions, and to reboot and really unquarantain yourself for a successful fall. Really looking at how we can top up those energy, those batteries, and ditch the bad habits and get your mojo back. And that you're set up for not just now, not just for the fall, but forever, because that is my wish for you. And if you want to contact me, this is how you reach me, Annie@vive.ca. Also invite you to go to vive.ca on the website. I have a wonderful gift for you there, a Thrive at Home guide, strategies that you can apply that are built on the pillars that I just spoke about today, about being strong, being steady, and for you to be incredibly powerful in your life. And I will check the chat. My apologies again. Thank you for your patience as we move through some of these technical glitches. And ironically, I bought those iPods this week, and I was so excited to use them today. So clearly, I have a little bit of learning to do in terms of how long they last. But I want to thank you, and we'll be monitoring a chat for any questions. And I will definitely, yes, I'm happy to share the slides, and so that people can review them, especially because it was a little bit chaotic. So, once again, now I know that there is a lot of networking that can happen, and people can see the booths for the vendors. So really invite everybody to be there and take advantage of that.
Thank you so much, Annie. I'm so sorry about any glitches, but you know what? This happens. Normally we have issues in in-person events. These are just the issues we have for virtual events.
Well, thank you for your patience. What a drag, but it does happen. Absolutely.
No problem. No problem. She wanted to run through naming the pillars again.
Yes, absolutely. So what you're looking at are ultimately 6 dimensions, but I will do nutrition, your diet, and supplementations are, kind of 2 in 1 here. They really go hand in hand. So really making sure that you are having a diet that is really rich in good quality carbs. So lots and lots of vegetables and fruit, moderate amount of animal products, good quality fats, and making sure that you always have that combination, right? So CFP, that's your rule: carbs, fat, protein. And then activity is your third pillar, making sure that you have activity every day, just moving, no jiggling, just moving, right? And then we have your environmental and your emotional health. So what surrounds you, who surrounds you, what are you reading, paying attention to absolutely everything, because everything, as I said, there's nothing neutral. So it's either going to give you energy or decrease your energy. And then rest and rejuvenation, making sure that you're privileging sleep, but that you're also dealing with the stress, right? And this is not one size fits all. Do what you need to do, but meditating, journaling, have amazing people around you that you can be authentic and vulnerable with. Super important. Your strategies will depend on the person that you are. And then the last one is purpose. Finding purpose for yourself. And that can be easier said than done, right? Some people are very clear about that. For those who are not clear about it, then I invite you to start that journey. And there's a lot of tools online for discovering a little bit of your purpose, and that will take time maybe. But if you do that and you're are mindful of these 6 dimensions, I promise you, your life will like explode.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Annie. So Annie does have, I did put a link in the chat that you can register to get an exclusive 8 complimentary sessions to reboot and on quarantine for a successful fall. So you can ditch the bad habits and reset for good. Click the link and take advantage of this. And we are also, our next speaker is on at 4:15. Please network and visit our vendors. We have a vendor contest going on. We also have a social media contest going on. I will post the information in the chat in a couple seconds. And what else do we have going on? We have some announcements. So I will post the information for both contests. You need to visit the vendors and interact with them in their booths. And then we will see you back at the main stage at 4:15 for our final speaker of the evening, Nicole McLaren Campbell. So far we have repped the UK, the US, and Canada. Jamaica is next. All right. So enjoy. I hope to meet you guys networking. Thank you so much, Annie. Let's have a great hour and 32 minutes. All right. Bye.